then the reason we're here, we got a lightweight matchup between Islam Makhachev, who is 19-1 and is the minus 575 favorite, going up against Thiago Moises, who is 15-4 and is the plus 424 underdog. You got Islam, who's ranked, I believe he's number 10 or 11, and then it got Moises, who comes in ranked number 15, right at that cusp, right there. He just made the top 15 list in the division. What do you think of this matchup?
I think this is an odd matchup, honestly, because I figured Islam's next fight would be against a top 10 competitor, but here we are. I guess, I guess the rumors are true that allegedly nobody wants to take a fight with Islam because of who he is.
Baby Khabib.
Yeah, right. Khabib 2.0. Makhachev is the fighter who doesn't have the best striking, but it's good enough to keep his opponent on his toes. It's very serviceable. Using the southpaw stance, Islam looks to use a good two-piece combo to set up a takedown. Thiago is more of a counter striker and uses that overhand right as his kill shot. The thing about Thiago is that he has way too many tells. He takes his big step backwards and immediately looks to throw the right, which I think will get him in trouble because of how dedicated and how good Makhachev's camp is at game planning. So I think that's going to lead Makhachev to take the fight to the ground, smother Thiago. Islam's ground game is similar to Khabib, as he wraps up the legs but also traps the arms to maul his opponent. I think this fight goes to the second round and ends in a stoppage because of ground and pound on behalf of Islam Makhachev.
That's pretty good. That's earlier than what I expected you to do.
Oh,
I
thank
thought
you.
I thought you might have went with like a round 4 or 5.
He's never gone 5, right?
No.
Also, this might be his first main event. So
this is his first main event. He has gone 3 rounds, but
I don't think he goes past 3.
I'll get to that in a second. But
okay,
first,
well, yes, I'm sure you went to decision.
No, but first I got Makhachev, who has a basic strike and is a southpaw. He mainly uses the straight right too and will be more reckless now after having success on his feet in the past fights that he's had. He uses it to set up his double leg entries. He tends to lean back to avoid strikes. Islam will pressure his opponent and cut the octagon in half to limit where his opponent can move, so he has better chances for takedown attempts. He has great timing and likes to go for single leg takedowns. Foot sweep is his X factor, and fighters struggle with it, so look for him to look for that several times. He likes to use the arm bar and go for the back of his opponent at times, and his cardio is really good. Mm-hmm. So he should have no problems lasting all 5 rounds in this matchup. Then you got Thiago Moises. He uses the counter straight right and takes a step back to throw it. He will try to walk you into the shot that he throws, and then he throws nice leg kicks. His lower calf kick against orthodox fighters is nice, and then he has high kicks for versus southpaw. So whichever way it goes, you can gauge what kind of kick that he throws. Mm-hmm. He has bad tendency to get close to the fence, which is him always stepping back to set up his throws. Like I said before, he likes to step back to throw the counter straight right. He's always attacking for submissions when on his back, and then he has great Brazilian jiu-jitsu game on him. So this isn't going to be a walk in the park for Islam Makhachev. He's going to be tested in several ways with the kicks and then the Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But I think at the end of the day, I got Islam Makhachev winning by round 4 submission. I think he's going to pressure him all fight. He's going to pressure him. He's going to exactly the Khabib way, the Sambo style. You push ahead, force them to make their momentum back, so it's easier to get that takedown. And when he's doing that, he's going to move forward and then get the leg sweep, get him down, and then just keep him down on the ground and make him expel a lot of energy trying to fight the takedown.
Yeah, smother him and overwhelm him and put him in a position where where Moises has to put himself in a bad position to try to get out.
And the thing that Makhachev likes to do that I've noticed is he wraps himself around their legs.
Yeah.
So they can't move.
And brings the arm in.
and then he puts his arm and elbow on the guy's, basically his neck. He likes to do that so that he's expelling a lot of energy trying to breathe because he has his hand on the neck. So
Yeah.
I'm going to see him do that several times, and then I think by round 3 or 4, I think he'll have like 3 or 4 takedowns by then, maybe just 3. But
Mhm.
by that time, I think Moises is going to expel a lot of energy because within that, I think he'll be able to get up at times and then throw those kicks and whatnot. But he's just going to, it's just going to be too much pressure for him to attack Makhachev. And I just feel like he's going to make a small move. Makhachev is going to take his back and then choke him out and get the submission victory.
Yeah,
And
either way, he's
then,
going to win.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. And then hopefully after that, he gets that top 10 matchup because I think they, after that early loss that he had in his career, they're just like, okay, we need to see him prove himself. And then once he
yeah.
beat Drew Dober, they're like, okay, he beat Drew Dober, that's a good win. But then they're like, do this one thing, bite this guy down, and then after that, you're doing us the favor. Now do us. Now we will do you a favor afterwards, and you'll be guaranteed a top 10 fighter. And I'd be interested to see who that would be next.
So let's talk about that, right? Good segue,
Yeah,
man. You're a king at this. So, according to UFC's rankings, Makhachev is number 9 in the division, right? So
that's even better.
let's focus on the people in his orbit. Let's stay at that 5 to 9 range, right? Tony
Yes,
Ferguson's number 5.
yes.
Rafael Dos Anjos, number 6. Connor, who he's not going to fight, is number
No,
7. We know this doesn't get Connor out of bed. And then there's Dan Hooker, who we haven't heard from in quite some time.
that's a name that would be very intriguing. Is
Yeah,
Dan Hooker because it's a step up from 9, and then it's right there at 8. Because it's not going to be McGregor. We haven't seen Dos Anjos in a while, and then I
I,
think Ferguson won't bite on it. So I think
yeah.
either it would be Hooker or Dos Anjos.
Yeah, they're the two that I thought, but I also thought that I also have a thought that, you know, maybe Dana White gets a little spicy with this and throws, Dariush at
That was going to be my
Makhachev
third name. That was going to be my
or even Gaethje because he's not doing anything and he's not going to be doing anything for quite some time. Chandler and Gaethje in my mind is the fight to make, right? Because they're both sitting there idle. Both former title contenders, both poised at a top spot. I think honestly, it would be a 3-9 matchup with Beneil
yeah.
Dariush and Islam.
I really like that one, but like
It's a great fight.
That Gagey one intrigues me, like you said. And then we already know that Michael Chandler's fighting in December. He just doesn't have an opponent yet. He's come out and said, "I'm fighting in December, just waiting on an opponent." So
Yeah,
seeing who his opponent is, then we'll get a very good idea of then where we can go for that. Because if that's Gagey, then we'll be like, okay, let's do Makhachev as long as he wins. He should win this Saturday, but as long as he
yeah,
wins, then do Dariush maybe do that.
yeah,
But then I just have a feeling that they won't do that, and Dariush will be like, I'm not going to take that because I'm sitting here pretty at number 3 or 4, and
yeah.
I'll wait for a good fight. So then that's why I think maybe Dos Anjos or Hooker because they're inactive right now.
Yeah, it's a very picky division at this point. People only want to fight certain people. So you know what'll end up happening. It'll be number 9, Islam Makhachev versus number
Yeah,
10, Gregor Gillespie. There you go. That's the next fight. 10 versus
yeah,
9.
yeah. And then he deserves better than that because he's already the last fight he did was Dober, who was like 11 or 12 at the time, and now he's doing Moises, who is 15. So
14.
Moises,
He just rose up a rank. Just went up one.
okay, so then 14. So he should be able to get that top 10 matchup, and it's just a
Yeah.
matter of who. And then knowing that, of course, like we said before, Habib is his trainer, you know that he's going to be prepared no
Yeah.
matter what. Because of watching those videos of the train and then Habib taking it to him, the only guy better than being the teacher is the student.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
gonna be high tuned, and I think I give him 2 years, and he'll be the lightweight champion.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like if Michael Chandler is fighting in December, right?
Yeah,
Who's to say that this isn't the fight to make? Islam versus Chandler.
yeah,
Chandler said he'll fight anybody. right? He agreed to fight Charles. He agreed to fight Dustin. He agreed to fight Justin. He agreed to fight Tony, and he was left with Dan Hooker.
Yep.
So who's to say he just doesn't say like, give me Islam, keep me active?
Yeah, that's all. That's all it's about is getting guys to stay active and fighting, and get these log jams out of the way. That's what they're trying to do. That's how you avoid it, by not having guys kind of dictate that they're going to wait or not, because that's what
Yep.
happened in the heavyweight division. They got a
Oh
log
yeah,
jam because of that. So with how they're doing here, let's hope that they don't get that way and everybody fights and everybody wants to move on. So
yeah,
but this is going to be a killer guy in the future, and he just needs to hope that he doesn't slip on Saturday, because if he doesn't come in 100%,
yeah.
and then he takes Moises lightly, he could lose this.
Absolutely,
Yeah, but I don't
absolutely.
think that's going to happen. I think he's going to come in sharp, ready to go, and then he's going to take this win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. But let's